It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on the 5th day of November 2024. Brought to you by Will US, the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie Cruises. Of course, happy election day to everybody. For me, I'm just thankful that it's going to be over with. I'm just so sick and tired of all that crap. Why not call it that? Crap. So, and I hope each and every one of you's candidate wins. Or candidates, as the case may be. All right, so we got a whole bunch of stories this morning. Actually, the top story today, we got to do a weather update and talk about Rafael. It's still a tropical storm, but within probably the next hour or so will be a hurricane, and it's expected to rapidly intensify, could reach major status. Who knows? A lot's gonna depend on how much Cuba takes out of it. But we'll talk about that. A record-setting quarter for Norwegian. A bunch more cruise lines have canceled Valencia, which is just a follow-up to yesterday's story. MSC alters an itinerary. Port of Tampa taking no chances. A ship drops Norwegian port. Emergency repairs for Scenic Eclipse. This one's kind of interesting. Cancellation of a Mirella cruise. Crew member airlifted from Celebrity Edge, and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Yesterday was National Candy Day, and I said that I'm not a big fan of candy. Today is National Donut Day. That's a whole different story. I can eat donuts almost any time. And I'm not picky. I can eat them glazed. I can eat them chocolate covered, or with stuff on the inside like Bavarian cream, or with powdered sugar on them so I get white crap all over me. It doesn't matter. Jelly donuts, I don't care. I'll eat any of them. I do like my donuts. Yeah, I know, that's why I'm fat. All right, today, folks, in 1872, going back a couple days, that's even, that's before I was born. Susan B. Anthony, that's the lady with the dollar coins. Susan B. Anthony, along with 14 other women, presented themselves for voter registration in Rochester, New York. After being permitted to register, they cast their ballots. Good for them. Several days later, United States Commissioner William Storrs issued a warrant for their arrest. So, anyway, that was the start of women voting, as it should be. I'm not making any disparaging comment, folks. I'm on the side of the ladies on most things. All right, if you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Now, I have been a little off schedule today, so I need to talk a little bit about the group cruise. If you recall yesterday when I shared the thing, we didn't have the prices. They had disappeared. So I had to get prices on. Now let's see. Cruise ship, blah, blah, blah. All right, where is it? Huh. There it is. Okay, so now if I did this all right, we're going to pull this up. Oops, let me get that out of the way. So I got to come back over here and take that off the screen. Now let's see if we can do, if this is where it's readable. This isn't going as I'd planned. Anyway, let me see if I can pull it up here and we'll go over with you that way. All right, so that still isn't the correct place. There we go. All right, so here's the deal, folks. The interior start at $849. That's per person, including taxes and port charges. Double occupancy. Balconies. This is the steal, folks. A balcony starts at $1289 per person. Double occupancy. If you look at any of the other cruise lines, in 26, the balconies are all starting at like $2,200 per person. So that's a bargain, a really good bargain. Not so much so for solos. While MSC often we get a really good solo deal, not so much on Poesia yet. This might be something that we see as we get closer to it. But for now, the interior start at $1,300. So that's about 52 or 3% a single supplement. The balcony start at $2,300. So if they're at 12, that's almost $1,300. So an extra $1,000. So that's about 80% supplement. You know, that's not great. But still, again, you're not going to find solo supplements any a whole lot better right now, at least on any of the cruises to Alaska. Now, if you do book it at the upper prices and we get a price break, I'll take care of that. I mean, we'll get you repriced. So anyway, so that's where we stand on the new group cruise. On the Poesia, which sails May 25th, 2026. It will be actually the third cruise from MSC in Alaska. Of course, the Poesia is the only ship going to be in Alaska. But this will be actually the third ship. It's round trip from Seattle. I'm going to be promoting it a lot. We're hoping to have a good, solid group for this. Nate and I are both going to be promoting it and going together on it. So hopefully we'll have a nice big group on this. All right, guys. I'll be back with today's news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. We start the day off looking at the weather, in particular Hurricane Rafael, currently Tropical Storm Rafael, and soon to be Hurricane Rafael, is passing southwest of Jamaica, but gaining strength. It's about 45 miles south-southwest of Montego Bay, 200 miles southeast of Grand Cayman. Currently, the sustained winds are at 60 miles an hour. Present movement is northwest at 13. Pressure has dropped and is dropping, currently at 993 millibars. A generally northwestern motion is anticipated over the next few days. On the forecast track, the storm is expected to move near Jamaica this morning, be near or over Cayman Islands tonight, and be near or over western Cuba tomorrow. Maximum sustained winds currently at 60 with higher gusts. Steady to rapid intensification is forecast over the next 24 to 36 hours. Rafael is forecast to become a hurricane and probably a strong hurricane in the northwestern Caribbean near Cayman Islands, with further strengthening before it makes landfall in Cuba. With the National Hurricane Center issuing a tropical storm warning for Jamaica and a hurricane warning for the Cayman Islands, MSC Cruises joined several other lines, already altering itineraries, and has altered its MSC Seascape route to move the vessel away from the storm and its gale force winds. Passengers who set sail on a 7-night Caribbean voyage from Miami on November the 2nd received word their itinerary was changing as they boarded the ship. Instead of calling in Falmouth yesterday from 9 to 5:30, the ship spent the day in Costa Maya from 8 to 5 p.m. departure. In lieu of visiting Grand Cayman today, MSC Seascape will divert to Roatan, Honduras, where it will call from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The changes, while disappointed, provided passengers more time in the new ports. As if the Tampa Bay area hasn't already had a difficult enough hurricane season that was thought to be over, it looks like a new tropical storm/hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico could wreak havoc on the area once again. The U.S. Coast Guard sector, St. Petersburg, has implemented port condition whiskey in Tampa Bay, alerting the community to the possibility of gale force winds within 72 hours. Port Tampa Bay is the first U.S. port to set a whiskey designation out of an abundance of caution, but ports across the Gulf Coast are keeping an eye on what became Tropical Storm Rafael as of 4 p.m. on November the 4th and will be a hurricane later today as it moves northward from the Caribbean. This is a terrific deal on Chillie Cruises Deal of the Day. Norwegian Cruise Line has slashed the prices on the Norwegian Epic 7-day sailing from Port Canaveral. It sails November 30th of this year with stops in Great Stirrup Cay, Puerto Plata, and Tortola and St. Thomas. Awesome cruise, awesome itinerary. The neat thing is the price. Double occupancy start at $570 per person. Solo starts at $570 per person. That's a zero single supplement. To make it even better, you can get the all 4 perk package: drinks, Wi-Fi, specialty dining, excursions. You can get all of 4 with the cruise for $784 per person, double occupancy, $784 solo. Awesome deal on the Norwegian Epic sailing November 30th for Port Canaveral. Just give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll see you on the Epic. The parent company of Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruises recently announced its financials for the third quarter of 2024, showing a solid upward trend in booking. Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, the company, reported a record-breaking revenue of $2.8 billion, an 11% increase from last year, largely thanks to rising demand and cost-saving measures. The booking surge was particularly notable for Alaska and Canada New England cruises, as travelers embraced these unique, cooler climate destinations. The company's profits rose 30% over the previous year, aided by increased onboard spending and smart cost-saving initiatives. Occupancy reached a remarkable 108% for the quarter, with ships running near capacity across brands. underscoring the high consumer demand for cruise vacations. In a follow-up to yesterday's story, multiple cruise lines have now canceled visits to Valencia, Spain, after one of the deadliest floods ravaged the city on October 29th. These include ships owned by Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Fred Olsen, and MSC. Cruise operators opt for other nearby destinations to replace the Spanish port of call. Cruise travelers sailing in the Western Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico this week are nervously eyeing Tropical Storm Rafael, soon to be Hurricane Rafael. But it isn't only in the Caribbean that poor weather impacts ship itineraries. At this time of year, weather in the North Sea can be equally unpredictable with strong winds, crashing waves, and unsafe conditions. This has caused Ambassador Cruise Line's Ambition to cancel a port visit on her current sailing, and guests miss out on a visit to Kristiansand, Norway. Kristiansand is in southern Norway, 150 miles southwest of Oslo, on the coast of the North Sea. The port can be subject to significant severe weather. Tucked up in Oslo Fjord, the capital of Norway is significantly more protected. The Scenic Eclipse luxury cruise vessel, known for its polar expeditions, is racing to complete a major repair in Galveston just weeks before its scheduled Antarctica season. The 228-passenger Scenic Eclipse entered dry dock in Texas on the 28th of October for the urgent replacement of one of its two azipod propulsion units. To expedite the repair, a new azipod unit is being flown in from Zurich, Switzerland, on a chartered Antonov 124 Russian, one of the world's largest cargo planes. Complex repairs could delay the journey. The azipod replacement is no small task and involves the removal of the faulty unit, installing the new one, and a thorough testing and certification process. Replacement and installation of these units require heavy machinery and precise alignment, typically taking 1 to 3 weeks. Following installation, the propulsion unit goes through operational testing to ensure the azipod functions smoothly, as well as safety and performance testing to ensure the new unit can meet standard performance. These tests often take 1 to 2 more weeks. Certification of an azipod propulsion system is the final procedure conducted by maritime regulatory bodies and can last from several days to a week, depending on inspection, functionality test, and documentation review to the installation. No news yet on changes of itineraries, but that might be forthcoming. Scootaround is offering big discounts on all rentals in Las Vegas until the end of 2024. Got a trip to Sin City planned in the next few months? Book a mobility scooter or electric wheelchair and explore the Strip, casinos, and attractions with ease. Las Vegas mobility rentals are 15% off until December 31st, 2024. Call Scootaround toll-free 888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code LVFALL and rent now or SRN 11137 for the best rates. Scootaround in Las Vegas. Mirella Cruises announced the cancellation of a scheduled voyage of Mirella Discovery 2 due to an extended dry docking in Valencia shipyard in Port Cadiz. The vessel is undergoing an extensive refurbishment, including stateroom renovations, hull cleaning and repainting, and a propeller polish. Originally scheduled to resume operations on November the 7th, the refurb timeline was delayed by adverse weather conditions in southern Spain. The ship's November 7th departure was a Spanish flavors itinerary from Malaga, visiting Mallorca, Barcelona, Valencia, Cartagena, and Gibraltar. Mirella has yet to confirm the vessel's subsequent itinerary,
Sights and Delights, scheduled for November 14th, and calling on Lisbeth, Cadiz, Casablanca, Cartagena, and Motril, whether it will proceed as planned or not. Holland America canceled Zuiderdam's scheduled port call in Pointe Pitre on Saturday, November 2nd, citing concerns over social unrest, safety risk, and logistical complications related to shore excursions in Guadeloupe. Originally slated as the ship's first visit of the season, the vessel carrying 2,500 tourists bypassed Port de Ponte à Pitre to ensure passenger safety, particularly given the high number of elderly guests on board. I've not heard anyone use elderly guests as an excuse for a cancellation before. A crew member in need of urgent medical attention was medevaced from the cruise ship Celebrity Edge while the vessel was sailing off the coast of New South Wales, Australia. Responding to the request, Australian Maritime Safety Authority organized a medical evacuation to transfer the crew member to a medical facility on land. AM EST coordinated with the toll ambulance rescue helicopter from Wollongong, which lifted the patient from the ship using a winch. An additional rescue aircraft from Essendon provided support during the operation to make sure everything went safely. Once the crew member was safely airlifted from the ship, he was taken to a hospital in Bigga, New South Wales for treatment. Our thoughts go with the crew member in hopes that he will get better and get back on board really soon. Significant price drop on the Norwegian Bliss, February 2nd, transatlantic from Southampton to Miami. Solo studios are now $11.22. Double occupancy start at $11.43. Both prices include taxes and port charges. The ship will sail on February the 2nd, 2025 from Southampton, land in Miami on February the 15th with stops in Le Havre, Vigo, Lisbon, and Ponta Delgado along the way. Why not join us on a fabulous transatlantic cruise on the Norwegian Bliss, sailing February 2nd? Just give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll see you on the Bliss.
And that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. So let's go over and see who is fussing at me in the chat room today. All right. Mike's with us. Good morning, Mike. Gretchen's here. Going to go walk the dog, but I'll be listening. Excuse me, maybe I could get amigo John, to write a song about Gretchen walking the dog. I mean, that seems like that should be a tune. Just saying. Hot Air says, good morning, everyone. I wrote in Chillie for president. Boy, I see you're a sick puppy. Sherry Brown's here. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, everyone. Long time. I've missed everyone. I've been catching up with the podcast. Thank you, Sherry. Good to have you. Cindy's with us. Good morning, Sam. Amy's here. Chillie would make a great common sense, no BS president. Yeah, no. I'd want to kill too many people. So, I wouldn't put up with that crap for a second. Katie says, good morning, everybody. I had a meeting, so a little late. Well, that's all right, Katie. You're allowed to have meetings. There's Bob down in Tennessee. Good morning. Vote for Chillie. Yeah, you guys are sick now. Todd says, good morning, everybody. Thank you for your support, folks. But it'll be a cold day and you know where before I run for any political office. Steve's with us. Good morning, Steve, out in Kentucky. Katie says, good morning to Sherry. Roger, back from the cruise. Have you finalized dates for Mr. Fish? Yeah, I stuck it in, Roger, that my vote's on the 14th because 15th is going to be a travel day for Hot Air Tom and Cindy and me. And I'm not entirely sure on my schedule other than that. I do know that I'll be there on the 14th. Hopefully the 13th, but I'm not 100% sure yet because of my issues here at home. So I'm going to play that by ear. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be there on the 14th. And I hope earlier, but we'll see. John says, hey, good morning, John. Glad you're with us. John's one of the X folks. Again, I will say to you, John, I can see your chat like your hey there, okay? But nobody else can. It's a problem with StreamYard, a problem that I've been trying to get them to correct for months because I get a lot of people from X that watch me. So, you know, anytime you want to add anything, put it in there and I will make use of it when I come on the chat room. So anyway, thank you, John, for that. Where was I? Hot Air Tom says it depends on Chillie's arrival. Probably the 14th or 13th if it comes earlier. Yeah, I'm guessing definitely the 14th to be safe. We will be checking out before 10 a.m. on the 15th. Yes. Okay, there's Sonny. Sonny down in Mississippi. Happy voting day. Thank you, Sonny. I hope everybody gets good weather today. I know a lot of places around the country are having rain. That's not good. But Hot Air says, Roger, we'll have a total of 5 for dinner on the 14th. Cindy's sister and boyfriend will be with us. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, that's cool. All right, I'm game. Just so long as they got some kind of seafood at that fish house. I am definitely looking forward to it. That's going to be the highlight of my trip to Myrtle Beach. I'm looking forward to it. So that reminds me, I still got some things to do for that cruise ship. Hey, babe. I'm glad I thought about that today. I forgot about it a couple of days ago when I was thinking about it. All right. That's going to wrap it up today. Again, folks, I appreciate your support for President. Let me make this very clear. I am not a crook. Anyway, so make sure everybody get out and vote. Whoever your candidate is, I'm not taking sides. Go vote if you haven't already. Now, for me, because somebody was talking about they had to stand in line for 40 minutes and whatever. So I simply said, yeah, well, my tongue has recovered from licking the envelope. That was my problem with voting again this year. And that was several weeks ago that I licked the envelope. So the standing in line days are over for me, at least in Virginia. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, smash that thumbs up button. That would be totally helpful. If you have not subscribed, please take this as my invitation to do so. It doesn't cost anything, and that will help us out a bunch. So that's it for today. Everybody have a great day. You're going to start seeing a lot of promotion for the group cruise. I'm going to start getting stuff out on that later today. So anyway, that's it from here. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Join us on the group cruise on the Poesia to Alaska. And we'll all get together sometime on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.